What's up, guys? My name is Ben, also known as Ding. As you see in the channel art, I was in class 2101, and today's video is going to tell you what to expect very broadly when you're going to OTS. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's unknown. You're stressed about a lot of different things, making sure you're prepared and as ready as you can be. So this is going to kind of walk through what I did, what I wish I had done differently, and what I was glad that I did. So showing up, um, I flew. I'm glad that I flew. It made getting there a lot easier, getting back a lot easier. The con to that was I wasn't able to store anything in my vehicle. However, in my circumstances, my class wasn't allowed to go to our vehicle and retrieve items, so that wasn't as big of a deal. So flying down, happy I did that. The luggage that I brought a big suitcase, the biggest I could find. I purchased on wheels. So I got a rolling suitcase, and then I also had a very large black backpack, which I'm glad that I got as well. I wish the black backpack was a little bit smaller, so I'd say a medium to large black backpack is good. The black backpack, you want to have all of your 72-hour items, so your different uniform requirements, boots, OCPs, PT gear. You don't necessarily need to bring your blues in that 72-hour bag. So keep it light. Bring sneakers, running sneakers. I recommend bringing at least two pair of boots. If you can only bring one of each, make sure that they fit you and that you've already worn them a little bit, because you're going to be wearing them a lot. You don't want to get blisters. A lot of people got blisters in our class. So make sure that you're packed. You've got everything you need. I would pack extra underwear, extra, like above and beyond what the packing list says. I would pack extra underwear, extra socks, extra t-shirts. You only need, I only had 2 pairs of OCPs. So I know it says recommended is more than that. It just means doing less laundry. And in our case, laundry wasn't an issue. We had laundry every other day, or the opportunity to do laundry every other day. So that wasn't an issue. You want to avoid bringing more than the 2 bags, only because when you first get there, you're going to have to check in and out of a hotel that first night, and that, like, getting to and from the hotel and going up and down the stairs, there's no elevator in that hotel. It can be a nightmare if you've got a bunch of stuff, and a lot of times it's pretty hot if you're not used to the heat down south. So I was really sweaty going up and down those flights and walking to and from the main hotel building to the hotel building that I was assigned to. And then the next morning, I lugged all my stuff to the main building, the main lodging building, where we got picked up and shuttled. During COVID ops, you're going to want to show up with a mask, because you're going to end up in close proximity, most likely with some other people, and you don't know who's got COVID and who doesn't. And we're in the airport as well. So, you're kind of just rolling the dice. The OTS is doing a lot to mitigate the risks. And if you do end up catching it, they're working on the schedule. So it's more lenient on dealing with people who have issues with COVID-19. So, and what I mean by that is virtual learning, right? They're really emphasizing the ability to virtual learn up front, although it's not preferred, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it. Those individuals definitely had a harder time, a little bit more difficult of an experience, and didn't benefit as much through having to virtual learn for the first week or two. For the most part, that's all you need for getting there. Once you do get there, you're going to get assigned a room. Your room will, in our case, during COVID ops, have either 1 or 2 people assigned to it. I know regular ops, it's up to 3, maybe even 4. So just the only advice I have for that is make sure that you're willing to be flexible. Your roommate doesn't want a roommate either. So most likely you both don't want roommates. It does make it a little bit easier if you have one, because you'll be able to study together, work on cleaning the room together, and just like have somebody to decompress before you go to bed and kind of talk about your stressors and ask for advice on how you can improve before it gets to your flight telling you that you need to improve, or that you're doing something wrong. So it kind of helps mitigate that. But definitely want to work with your roommate on that stuff. As far as what you need in your room, I know one of the big things in the questions when I was getting prepared was, the containers, the plastic containers, the hangers. There's tons of hangers available in the hallway. You just have to know where to go. So to go down the hallway, usually they're about halfway down, and you'll have a big inventory of hangers. If they're not there, then the person who's assigned to be the supply officer will have access to some hangers. Same thing with bins. They're not all going to be available. There's not going to be one for everybody there. But the only one that I would really recommend bringing is the large one designed for having under the sink to store your bigger items. It just keeps things tidy. You don't really need one for your security drawer. The only thing I needed in my security drawer really was my orders, anything with like my personal information on it, and then my laptop I stored in there. Make sure you have a lock that's easy to use. They say master lock. I would avoid the spinny kind. Just use the one with the dials. As far as your day-to-day goes, most days are going to start around 4 o'clock, 4:30. It's going to depend on your student leadership, really. We woke up as early as 3:30 on a couple of occasions. So obviously a big part of mitigating stress is making sure that you're rested. So as early as you can, lights out is 10, but you can go to sleep before that usually. So just make sure you're getting as much sleep as you need, and don't sell yourself short on sleep, because rest is a huge part of success. The different things that you're going to be tested on there is academics, PT, and then just your leadership style. So as far as academics go, make sure you're giving yourself a lot of time to study. The tests themselves are not that difficult as long as you're actually studying. So give yourself 30 minutes to an hour every night to really, really focus on studying. A lot of people were socializing and then they wound up having difficulty on the test. So make sure that you don't fall into that trap. It's okay to socialize. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. If you've got a firm grasp on everything, that's good. It doesn't necessarily mean that the people you're socializing with do. So, you don't want to hurt them either, even though it's fun to talk and kind of de-stress. PT, we didn't have a lot of opportunities to do cardio. You can do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, which is good in your room. But cardio, you're going to want to make sure you show up to OTS in good shape. I would recommend at least a minute faster than your minimums. At least, obviously you want to be a lot faster than that, but at the very least, because you're going to lose time on your run because you're not going to be running a lot. So that's as far as PT goes. Your day-to-day, your schedule. So you wake up, I already said, pretty early, 3:30 to 4:30 generally. You're going to have your breakfast is usually the first item of the day, and that's I'd say around 6 generally. Could be as late as 7. After that, you usually go to your flight room for academics. Your lunch is going to be anywhere between 11. I think people are going as late as 1. It's usually a 2-hour window. And then dinner is going to be from like 4 to 6, maybe 5 to 7. So you'll get 3 square meals. Each meal, you should have about 10 minutes to eat. So that's everything. That's eating, drinking. So you're going to want to be able to eat relatively quickly and at least prioritize what you're going to eat. You don't want to save the best for last because you might not get to it. Snacks, you don't want to bring snacks really, because in the dorm they're not allowed. So if you bring snacks, you'll have to leave them in your vehicle or eat them while you're unpacking, because as soon as you're unpacked and your room is set up for inspection, the inspectors can come in at any time, and if they find room in there, it's contraband and it could fail you. So you don't want to set yourself up for failure. Let's see. Otherwise, uniform items, big things. People were trying to bring blues and leave them in their vehicle. I wouldn't recommend that. As I may have mentioned in this video, we didn't have opportunities to go to our vehicles very much. So try to get that stuff beforehand if you can, and have it packed. it is expensive. What I did to help purchase a lot of stuff, I mean, I was fine. I had the money to take care of things, luckily, but you can get a USAA career starter loan. So if you're not familiar with that, just check out USAA, their website. You'll need a checking account and stuff, but I definitely recommend you going and checking that out. Not going to go into too much detail. I'll leave that to you to investigate, but definitely helped us out. There's a bunch of different graded leadership positions that you're going to be tested on. So you'll want to take those. My recommendation would be, I mean, flight leader was a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed it. I did not think that the first flight leader had it made. I think that was a difficult circumstance for them, but if you can be flight leader, definitely go for it. It's not bad. It's kind of fun. It is what you make it, right? And you can make it easy for your people. You can make it difficult. The big thing is, I think broadly, the big thing is learning how to communicate effectively and doing it often. So communication is pretty key to success at OTS. Otherwise, just be you. I mean, you were selected for this position for a reason. You've obviously demonstrated leadership abilities. You're educated. You're smart. Somebody likes you, right? So you're likable and you're good at what you do. So Air Force needs you. Just go in with an open mind. Big things going in, obviously my hair's long. I'm a reservist. I'm not going back to duty for a couple weeks, so disregard that. But you want to be clean shaven. You want to have your hair cut before you get there. I would say the day of or the day before, make sure you get that haircut done nice and tight. I did zeros on the side when I showed up and didn't have to worry about it for like 3 weeks. So opportunities to go get haircuts and go shopping for items and stuff is really limited. And when you do get the opportunity, it's going to be a tight window. So you're not going to have a lot of time to shop. And you got to navigate that with a bunch of people that need to go shopping. So that was an experience. It was difficult for a lot of people to get what they needed. So just be as prepared as you can going in. Make sure that when you pack your bags, I would encourage you to roll your t-shirts, your socks, everything, because you're going to have to stage your room pretty quickly, and you'll want to do it before you go to bed that first night. So if you want a good night's sleep to go into your first full day, just be prepared. The better prepared you are, the easier it's going to be for you. On your laptop, you want to make sure you have Microsoft Word. You'll want a PDF viewer, not the basic Adobe, but the one that allows you to fill stuff out. I think it's like $15 a month or something for the membership. And then they got like an early termination fee, so it's $30 to cancel. But I had it for the 2 months I was there, and then I canceled, so it came out to like $60. So you want to do that. You don't necessarily need a CAC reader, a Common Access Card reader, but I would encourage you to, if you have access to it, get one. They're relatively cheap and they'll help you. Printer, we had a couple people bring printers. They're highly recommended. I don't know why they don't keep one in each of the dorms for everybody, but I definitely recommend bringing a printer. Even if everybody in your flight ends up bringing one, it's better than nobody bringing one. If you can find a way to pack it, get a small one. Black and white's fine, as small as possible, compact, but you'll be happy that you have it. I didn't bring it, but luckily we had 3 people in my flight of 16 that did. So I can't think of much more without kind of stretching this video out, so I don't want to do that to you guys. If you have comments or questions about OTS in general, I'll answer as best I can. Again, because of OPSEC, some of the stuff I can't go into. So if I ignore the question or I just don't answer it, understand there's probably a reason why I'm not answering it. But with that, I wish you guys the best. Thanks for watching. Good luck.